Ladies and gentlemen, you join us live from all around the globe. Well, at least a couple of countries. Firstly, Ryan Blue Bowen back on UK and Ireland chat because all the Brits love a bit of Ryan. Fire it up there, son. Yeah. Good to have you back on, mate. Good to have you back on. We got Tom, the lean machine Holland in the mother fluffing house. A little bit blurry because of that internet signal. But that's not a bad bicep there, Tom Holland.
That's all right. It's getting there.
Yeah, it's quite impressive, that, mate. Look at that. Looks like knots in cotton. Look at that. Unreal. And last but not least, working it, mate. Something to build. Last but not least, we got mighty Paul Maiden coming live and direct from a small town near Wigan. How you doing, Paul?
Very good, mate. And if you carry on saying Wigan, I will proceed to pull on them big dangly ankle tips you've got.
Nice, son. Just what we like. Get the tickling sticks out. Now then, lads, welcome back to the show. And we're going to dive straight in. We got a bit technical last time, and I'm not sure, let us know your thoughts in the comments on that last show. We're going to start this time with all match action as we lead up to the Ashes, the arm wrestling Ashes, Aussies versus the Brits. 3 or 4 of the best Aussies, 3 or 4 of the best Brits. We've already talked around the fact that Paul Maiden and Ryan Bowen love that matchup. You guys are pretty much head-to-head. We spoke about that a little bit, and I'm sure we'll hear more about that today. But I wanted to focus on some of the other potential matchups that we've got, because for every one Ryan throws forward, I wonder whether we can find somebody that can match up or better his best lads. So, Ryan, if you were bringing over your Aussie dream team, dude, who've you got? You got yourself as team captain.
Well, honestly, I will concede and say I would sub myself out for Danny Tesh. If we're talking middleweights, it's clear. It's like just call it 1-0 Australia already if we're putting Danny Tesh in at middleweight.
And if Danny Tesh goes in at middleweight, does he sort of get Paul? Is it Danny Tesh versus Maiden, the repeat?
Yeah, I guess it would be. I mean, we saw what happened there last time. Paul took his wrist, as many people have done before, but that by no means puts you any degree closer to victory when it comes to Danny. But anyway, Danny would be the dream team middleweight. It has to be Jordan Davis. He's an exceptional lightweight in Australia. He's head and shoulders above the rest. And in the supers at the moment, it's yet to actually be determined who our number one guy is. Historically, Ryan Scott, the milkman from Western Australia, has been the man, but Lachlan Adair is on an absolute warpath at the moment, being coached by Giannis Amelins for the last 12 months, come from the background of elite powerlifting, fully dedicated now. I believe he is maturing immensely quickly, and I just know he's stronger than anyone else in the country. He's a freak. He's a genuine freak. And he's still going that steeply upwards because he's so new. He's still only in his third year in the sport, and yet he's hanging with elites already. So Lachlan, I think, is the man over Ryan. Even though it hasn't actually happened between those two yet, I feel Lachlan is ahead of Ryan. So that's the dream team.
Is there anybody else that you would look to bring over? Just those 3 guys, mate?
If we can add in New Zealand, then there's 2 super heavyweights that are legit as hell. Ben Carroll and big Mate Wairangi Heta Morris. Hopefully I got that right, Matt. Mm-hmm. Both of those guys are phenomenal. Ben Carroll finished 5th at Zloty in the super heavyweights. Yep. Big Matt hasn't had international success yet, but he has dominated the Oceanic region for many years. And when I say dominated, he's probably won the Oceanic Championship 3 out of the last 5 times, beating Ryan Scott, beating Ben Carroll. I mean, people like Ben Carroll went down 3-2 to Lars Rabakin 3 years ago in a super match, for instance. So that was Ben when he was pretty new to the sport. Ben's been pulling 7 years now, same as me. So there's a bunch of guys, and even amongst the Kiwis in the lightweights, there's some pretty exceptional pullers as well.
Now, from our UK perspective, I'm going to go around and see who we throw into that match. Obviously, I'm taking it, Paul, that you're going to claim the spot against Mr. Tesh because you've had Pryor?
Right-handed, I think. Left-handed, obviously, he'd throw me all over Gerding. But left-handed, we've got some animals. I mean, we've got David Bradford coming up. He's an absolute animal left-handed. Got a pin off you, Tom, didn't he? And you're pretty much dominant over.
Yeah, sneaky little bit.
We've got what I'd love to see Danny Tesh with Stefan Thomas. He's now an English import, and
I'll just translate that, guys. It's Stefan Tamas, but in England he's turned into Thomas.
Yeah, well, it's Stefan Thomas now because he's English. So I mean, he's an absolute animal. I mean, he pulled in the 102 kilo class in WAL over in the European qualifiers, and he absolutely walked it with a country mile. He pulled Frodo left-handed and mopped up Frodo with a pack of biscuits and a cup of tea. That was a good leverage. So that's where Stefan Thomas is level as at. And he even actually, I'll tell you what, Ryan, if you Google him, he Ernst Gasparini flipped his wrist at World Championships, and he put Ernst down with a dead wrist. So
okay. Anyone that's pinning Hermes is way past legit. They're elite.
I think we've got a great middleweight team. I mean, Tom himself, we're doing the Six Nations later on at year, and Tom's put himself down for 90 kilo division as well, because we were speaking earlier, and he's looking at bulking up to 90, 95, so God help us all if he's going to start making them sort of weights.
That's an interesting fact, because we say the same about Jordan. We've always said Jordan should be a 90 kilo guy, he shouldn't be an 80 kilo guy, and so it makes sense for Tom in my mind as well.
I'm not going to try and force myself up to 90. Eventually I'd like to be a 90, 95 kilo wrestler.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because you've often seen that sometimes when you're operating in below 100 kilo, I think the tall guy has a massive advantage. So if you can really healthily make 80 kilo, 85 kilo at the stature you're at, I think it's a big. I mean, look at Tortiev now. He's another one, isn't he? Yeah. Super lean. And let's be honest, Vitaly Lalatin, when he was pulling in the 100 kilo class, same suit, warmed over. Yeah. Super tall, super rangy guy. Nobody could get a hang on him.
I remember Brian got him, Neil, in 2014 when was at Lithuania at World Championships. And even then it was something else. It was ridiculous. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah,
who do you guys have for Lachlan Adair? Who's banging with that sort of power?
Marvin Palmer.
Is that the British version of Marco Yellow?
Yeah, but
he's kind of a good-looking dude. Yeah, he's got the look. Yeah,
the tan.
Yeah, he's a mixed race lad. So yeah, he's got a good bronze chest on him. My missus rubbed some baby oil on it in Turkey for him. So they went missing for a couple of hours as well. I've often wondered why one of my babies is slightly brown.
What do you think about Adrian O'Dwyer versus Lachlan?
Well, I was just going to say O'Dwyer's another. I think we've multiple options, to be honest, and I think O'Dwyer's another really credible option if Adi comes back strong. And you could say, depending on when this goes down, let's say, for example, this is next year, because 2020 is looking a bit on the ropes. So let's say it's next year, and if we went for a similar time frame for next year, you'd have to think that Kyle could have got somewhere as well, guys.
Well, I know Kyle is thinking. Kyle can make 110. I mean, he diets down just for his holidays to 113. I speak to him quite regular. He is munching round about 130, but he's six-pack idiot at 130. But he could make 110 if we give him enough time.
I just wonder whether at that weight he'd be. I mean, he doesn't need to be 110 really, because there's no weight cap on it from Lachlan's perspective. He's coming in at heavyweight and off.
I think we've got so many, Neil. I think we've got Stephen Sower. He's 27 stone. He's an absolute animal. He could cause anyone issues if he comes ready.
Mindaugas Dulskas.
Yeah, we've got Mindaugas.
Ciprian Pasto.
Yeah, we've got them all. But I just think Marvin.
A lot of these names sound pretty exotic. How many of these are homegrown, and how many of these are imported from a neighbouring
Marvin
European?
Palmer, Adrian O'Dwyer, both homegrown.
Carl Hutchinson.
Steve
Sower.
Yeah, Steve Sower. So all of them except two. Mindaugas and Cipriano Pasto are the only two.
Where are those gents from originally? Where they learn their craft?
Romania, one, and Mindaugas, I want to say... Lithuania, yeah. Okay,
yep. We have Guntas Baikovs down here in Australia, a name I didn't mention, former Latvian super heavyweight champion. He moved to Australia in like 2015 and went undefeated. He was I'm pretty sure he'd won not only Latvian nationals but Europeans. He'd won in his day as well. So when he came to Australia, he'd been retired from the sport for about 4 years, I believe. And he just walked all over everyone in Australia. The first person to beat Guntas was Lachlan. And the reason, this is why I want to tell you how strong Lachlan is because Guntas is a technically ultra proficient arm wrestler. He's 130 kilos. He moves like Giannis, but he's a giant. And Lachlan, having arm wrestled for 6 months, only 6 months, forced Guntas into a hook and beat him from there. And you go, well, anyone who's been pulling for only 6 months to be able to beat someone of Guntas' caliber
very good.
on their first trot. And he did it twice. He beat him twice because Guntas came back up through the B draw and Lachlan did it again in the final. So, that was like, holy dooly, who is this Lachlan dude coming along here beating Guntas' first go? Right?
Yeah, Lachlan's a beast. I mean, you saw that, didn't you, in Toriev at Zloty? I mean, I know Toriev had just come back, so it might have not been the Toriev of like the 2009, 10, 11, etc. But anyone who can mix it up with him when he comes into a tournament inside and slightly have the better of him, unfortunately, he lost on elbow fouls, Lachlan, that one, didn't he? And, you know, he shows he's legit. I mean, I'm not quite sure how he is with his hand and wrist and stuff. I don't know you do with him in training, if you can even move him or not, Ryan, I don't know, but...
When I pull with Lachlan, he has to pre-exhaust his hand and wrist for me to be able to have balance. He'll work his hand and wrist hard before I even get there.
Well, that's fair enough. But yeah, Jordan Davis also flips your hand and wrist like a piece of paper.
Very differently though. Only outside of the straps, and only if I try to hold on. If I top roll against Jordan, he can't hold on to me. But if out of like one of my biggest goal, I have a huge goal just for fun. To be able to hold on to Jordan out of straps is a real mission that I'm just chasing, and it's a long. I'll be honest, it's a long way away. He laughs every time I try. It's comical how easy he can flip my hand outside of straps.
Yeah, are you set with him, Ryan? Are you set with? Are you just trying to block him with fingers, or are you really going past him? Are you really putting board on Bowen?
If I add back pressure to it, I can end up in a like kind of a posting kind of finger climbing nonsense bullshit way of pinning him, but that to me is not satisfying. I want to just be able to say, fuck you, get in there and beat him. That's the mission.
Measure, then?
Yeah, I'm trying to do that and I just can't.
So let's talk about Jordan Davis for a minute, guys. Now, with the obvious one would be the mighty Thomas Van Holland, who's on this call with us right now. Let's say that isn't possible due to Tom's contractual agreements with World Arm Wrestling League, for whom I expect him to feature quite heavily in the season. We got another guy, Mr. Craig Sanders. How does that one tickle your fancy, son? The Birmingham Bullet.
I know that Jordan actually really would love to have a match with Craig for the reason that in the 2017 WAL that never happened. Jordan, I think, went 1 win, 2 losses. I think he beat Adam Wilmot. He then lost to Giannis, and he got Craig Sanders in the B draw. And Craig Sanders hadn't had a match yet because he was in the toilet when they called his name or something.
Doesn't sound like Craig.
Yes,
definitely a minute.
Yeah, that's Craig.
I'll tell you a story though, Ryan. In 2014, Lithuania was in the Worlds in Lithuania again. Craig, he was going great guns. It was about round 4, round 5 in, and Craig Sanders, Yanis Amalin.
Yanis.
Right, I shit you not, Craig had gone for a shit. So I'm running in, looking for him, Craig. you're having a match. Oh, mate, you're joking, mate. Oh, mate. So he comes running out with toilet paper, still stuck out, cracking his ass.
Not sure that bit's true.
Whips it up, runs to the table, and he just got to that, like, 1 minute or 30 seconds or whatever it were, and they just give Yanis win. But I honestly believe if Craig was ever going to be champion of the world, that was his year. And he's done that now multiple times.
Multiple times. And he was rock strong at that point as well.
Yeah,
I don't remember that year as well. Was that the year he had a battle with Sasho? In Lady Pin Sasho?
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, when Craig's on form, Craig is deadly. He's a match for, he's a match for everyone.
Yeah, Craig is a handful.
Yeah. I've never pulled Craig, but I'm going to assume that Craig is one of the guys that is stronger than he looks. Now, I saw him at Zloty IFA where he was light. I forget what weight category he was in, maybe like 72 or something like that. He looked small then, and I remember I was kind of just visually seeing him and thinking, you're not as big as I kind of thought you would be, but he gets up to 85, doesn't he? If he wants to.
Yes. Yeah.
So the version of him I saw at IFA Zloty, he'd need to be bigger than that for Jordan. Jordan's currently, I feel like it is anyway, Jordan is currently 85 kilos. Jordan has made the decision. He was staying light because he wanted to be WAL lightweight this year, but with COVID-19 doing what it's doing, he said, look, screw it, I've been suppressing my weight too long. He's already at 86,
so
87
effectively,
kilos.
Jordan will not be a lightweight at that time.
No, not at all. Jordan's a middleweight now, and he'll be a legit middleweight too. Like when I'm saying legit, as in his walk around weight, he believes he'll have it at about 92 kilos by the end of the year. That's what he thinks. So, and he's 6'4", and he's now eating 5 square meals a day plus drinking a gallon of milk between the meals.
So he goes much higher. You know who comes into the conversation then? Super Stoiker.
Yeah.
Stoiker?
English Stoiker. English Stoiker.
100% English.
Yep.
He's as English as he peaks, that kid.
I think Stoiker's probably a level above Jordan.
I can't believe you've tucked him in like that. I mean, Jordan's a bit struck and takes wobbly eggs, but there's no need for that, is there really? Did you hear what he said there, Ryan?
He said
Stoiker is a level above Jordan.
I think so. Go on, Ryan.
All I was going to say was I saw that a few people had floated my name up against Stoiker, and I don't know if it was just local Brits that, of course, are going to back their man, but I saw an overwhelming response that people thought Stoiker was going to beat me as well. I don't know anything about him, so I can't really throw an opinion behind it. So he's obviously a strong dude if a bunch of people think he's going to beat me dominantly. But when it comes to Jordan is, we talked about it in the last episode about disengaging power. Jordan is exceptional at disengaging power. Jordan's not strong. In a power on power sense, most of us will just push him over. We'll fall over in the breeze. But that man can disengage people from their power so effectively.
Long-levered. That's the game.
Yeah.
The long-levered puller. You know, if they can hold their shape, you've got to dig them out of there, and it's not easy. To give you we'll fill you in a little bit, and all the people watching this around the UK and Ireland, and if we have any internationals looking at it, a little bit of a learning process for you guys as well. Paul Maiden, who's on the call with us right now, coming live and direct from a small town near Wigan, is also lined up to face Super Stoiker very soon, actually. Now they did. When are you going at it in a super match, mate? It's not when you scheduled.
Well,
October.
October is the Six Nations, which is obviously, you know, like the Ashes, Ryan. I don't know if you know Six Nations, but it's like the Ashes, but it's like 6 countries what come together: England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and then we've got Romania and Lithuania. We're all going at it, and that may come first now because of obviously this COVID-19. But if we manage to get one of the big PAA tournaments in, me and Stoiker going at it. Stefan Thomas and Tom Holland left-handed, and then another couple of British lads and Irish lads going at it as well. But I've already got a good win over Stoiker. I beat him last September.
Here we go.
In a super match. I beat him 2-0.
Now, while this is going on, Ryan, okay, listen to Paul, but watch Tom Holland's face. Sorry, Paul.
I know what's coming.
No, Tom, I'm not going to mention that I beat you as well.
We won't get into it. I'm going to post a video.
Well, post it, and let's listen. Is it your job to keep your elbow on the pad? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Then that's all I've got to say on matter. Anyone can arm wrestle anyone if you're arm wrestling on my fucking pad. Come on, Cock, let's get on it.
Yeah, but even on your pad, you still couldn't pull me across.
Yeah, no fucking wonder, because you're still lost. You fucking beat you. You were like you're doing your thing last night when your legs were off table and you were the fucking Superman on my side of the table. End of the day,
you can see it's controversial, this bit, Ryan. But, don't let that, detract in any way from the validity of what Paul's saying. So, Paul, you've got a win over Bogdan already, haven't you, mate?
I most certainly have. And Tom doesn't like it because it's Tom's training partner. But
No, it's not even that. I don't mind if you two do your own thing. But I think, just me, my own opinion, I think now I felt a difference in Bogdan the last few months, like before we stopped training. I felt a huge difference in him. Strength wise.
About 6 mil of testosterone in him.
So, don't know.
Yeah, that's wow.
Who knows? But, I think it's going to be a lot closer than last time. It's going to be a lot more of a closer match.
Well, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think I'll drill him to the pad. Like, I drilled him to the pad last time, and he come out with this. I had a mild, mild temperature, 5 days before, and my arsehole was sore and all that. Some shit that Ryan Bowen comes out with. Oh, well, I only lost to Jordan Davis because I sucked my own arsehole and I was 165 and I injured my bollock.
Oh, God.
Bullshit. Listen, I don't make excuses. If I lose, I take it on the chin and I come back. I don't have to make an excuse, and that's what it is. And if we are going to make them, I was stood there with a microphone for 6 hours. I've been up since 4:30 doing all competition. And, Neil knows how much.
That's true.
Neil knows how much that drains out of you. And I didn't eat or drink nothing, Tom. You was with me all day.
Yeah.
I wasn't eating or drinking. So I think it pretty much is mild temperature where you can have a bastard paracetamol, evens it out. So don't come shit with me Stoiker like that. But when it comes down to it, I arm wrestled him. Stoiker is like Ryan. Is an unbelievable technical arm wrestler. He's a joy to watch.
He is really, really good.
Yeah, he's an absolute joy to watch. But the old school style arm wrestling I was mentioning on the call yesterday, I just could see everything was coming. He's like everything. I was like I have Mystic Mog with that crystal ball. I could just look at it and see what he was doing. So it enabled me to counter him. And I think the same thing could happen again. He can't hide his weapons. He's a really, really good poker player, but he's got a shit poker face, you know what I mean? So
yeah. I think the thing that's going to be interesting about next time as well is you're dedicating a lot more to the table now. Yeah. A lot more to the table. Bogdan's actually dedicating a lot more to the cables at the minute and getting his strength up in that way rather than table, I think. So I think that'll be interesting to see what the outcome is.
I arm wrestle every day for 12 weeks, and obviously only because of this COVID, that was obviously why not. I'm back on the weights. But I found out with me arm wrestling every single day that my level just went straight through the roof. I mean, it's only 20 weeks since I did my bicep, since I snapped my bicep. I was on arm wrestling table after week 3.
Not even sure Ryan's fully aware of what you did there, Paul.
Yeah, I was at pulling at national championships a couple of weeks before Worlds, which was a stupid idea. So
with Kyle Hutchinson, actually, the guy we were talking about
that week. I'd even trained that morning, and I was just literally using it. I wasn't expecting to win, but I was just using it as just a run out just before World Championships in a couple of weeks' time. And anyway, I got into a match, and instead of just letting it go, I decided to carry on fighting, and I snapped my upper bicep. So I'm now with Popeye, and I spoke to a couple of old school wrestlers, Alan Greaves, good friend of mine, and I asked him when he'd done his. I spoke to Greg from USA who did Arnold's, and he was telling me he had the operation. But I went and paid for a scan, and when I had it done, there was nothing to put together. Like Eddie Halls, they recommended he didn't have it done, and there was nothing left of mine. Because obviously I'm over 40, you get degenerative tendon anyway. So I decided, I can leave it, for 6 months and do nothing with it and watch it wither away, or I can try and rehab it and just work around it. And I started curling. I did it on the Saturday. Started curling on the Monday. I found out doing full length stuff give me a little bit of cramp. I had cramp for a while. I couldn't bite my arsehole. But then I started shortening the motions. And then when I went over to Zloty and E4 Worlds, I saw you, etc., I was speaking with Krasie, and I ended up having a good chat with Krasie. And then when we got back, we had a couple of phone calls, and he sort of put me on a little table program for trying to help me arm. And so I followed it, and all these weeks later, I'm probably, well, I don't probably think, I know I'm the strongest I've ever been. I mean, I'm heavier, granted, but I have had a few heart issues as in regards to, like, my medication was a bit off, and it's given me a pulse rate of like 42, so I've really struggled, like, trying to get the weight. My calories and stuff like that was all over. So I've managed to get that medication right now, so the weight should start dropping. And, I feel good. And when I make weight, I'm going to obviously have a good match for you and slap you around like a naughty, redheaded stepchild. Get me finger, give you a Pokemon wank, and then
oh God,
and go and drink a couple of beers.
I honestly think that these are all 6 rounders, are they, Neil? If this goes down,
yes.
Yeah, I love 6 rounds. I love not only someone winning. 6 rounds often produces a great war, but I love it when someone really loses too. I love it. I love seeing the look of defeat. They want to leave. They want to run away from the arena. They're embarrassed to be there. I love that too. I love that 6 rounds brings out that potential, because story is everything in the sport when it comes to fans. And losing hard is just as good as a story for the fans, because everyone who gets to say "I told you so" on the other side of the fence loves it, and all the fans of the guy that lost have to run and hide. So it's awesome. So honestly, Paul, I think round 1, you and me, it's going to be it's toss a coin with who accesses their power best. But if I get a stop, I feel like I'll get the win, and I won't win fast. I'll win in a way that it just cumulatively builds up. And I reckon by round 6, we could have like that Devin Laradondri Pushkar look on your face.
Yeah, fair play, mate. You're entitled to your opinion, but boom, because that won't happen.
Just like that.
It's a tremendously well thought through argument.
You know what, mate? That's all it takes, because I respect Ryan's skills. I do respect his skills. He's a really good arm wrestler, and you can't take that away from him. And I know that I'm coming out with all this bullshit, and I could end up with egg on my face. Yeah, it's a possibility, but I just genuinely believe. Neil will know, and Tom will tell you now, that there's no way you'll make me quit. I won't quit. I'll go out on my shield. That's just fucking that.
But to beat you, somebody's going to have to see a lot of options. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
In order to win, you will see a lot of options. You'll not pull 2 rounds the same.
No,
that won't happen.
No, and I think that's what makes it a super technical match, and it's exciting. But I know, Ryan, that one thing is for sure, that I will not underestimate you. I mean, I do talk shit about you, and I generally believe I'll win, but I will never underestimate you, and I will put this little bit of pressure on myself with a bit of shit talking, because I know that I will have to be on my toes. And if you underestimate me, you will get beaten very, very badly. But I will not underestimate you, because I know what you're capable of doing, and I respect that. But that just puts me on my toes. And when I'm on my toes, and I know that I have to be ready, and I'm thinking, I'm a fucking dangerous man, pal.
I agree totally, man. Like, as you transition in, like, it wasn't that long ago for me, transitioning from amateur to pro, you start to feel the pressure of pro is different. At amateur level, you can just walk past technically on people that don't see what you're doing, and you just belt them. You get to pro, and all of a sudden the game is different, and it is scary. I've heard Rob Vigin talk about it as well, where he's literally scared that he's not going to have what it takes to win. There's that little demon in the back of your mind that is like, yeah, I could just get thumped. I could. I might not be strong enough to even get into this match, let alone win it. And that little demon in the back of your head is always there for me too. And it's always there on gotta get into this match. Oh. I always feel like if I get into a match, we're sweet. I will make it a friggin' war no matter what. Even if I lose, I'll love it, even if I lose. Yeah. But it is scary. It is scary. Well, the thought of just getting pasted is scary.
You know what? I don't find it scary. You know, I've been beaten before. It'd be different if this was a boxing match and was going at it, and you lose your own and all that bullshit. But none of us have got an oath to defend. Not one of us on this phone call. And it's end of the day, it's an arm wrestling match. It's not life or death. It's not like going at Birmingham's Jungle and giving someone an Hungarian necktie. It's arm wrestling. And I think once you can separate it, and you can start clearing, when you feel that pressure, you're not thinking right. When someone's under pressure, they react different. When you're not feeling that pressure, you've got that clear mind. You're able to focus on the task ahead. And that's the difference. You know, as soon as you start worrying about, I could get slapped or this, that, or other, you're not focusing. You know, it's like having a panic attack and people are around in the street and you might be sending your mum a text and you might spell it wrong or you're just flustered. And if you start feeling like that with your arm wrestling, then you're not going to think straight. And that's the difference between winning those matches and not winning. And that's something why, I'm a big believer that I don't feel that pressure anymore.
Oleg Petrenko, first round as a lottie for me last year. I think, and I could be wrong, YouTube will correct me, I'm sure, if I am wrong, but he's the only person that has truly just slapped me, in my recent years. Everyone else that I've lost to, I felt I was in access to power, at least to a significant degree, and was able to work to a degree. Oleg Petrenko just gripped me and just went, whoomp, done. And that was like, that was like shit. It pissed me off. But I respect that Oleg Petrenko is probably just that much stronger than me. So
Petrenko slaps a lot of people. He's serious.
I think he's elite, right? I don't think you're that elite guy. I think you're a very good guy. I mean, I wouldn't give you a Chris Gobby tier. I just think you're a very good guy on an upward trajectory, and you've got a fantastic future. I think what you find is with people like Petrenko, I think they're just next level at this moment in time. And there's no shame in being slapped by them guys because at this moment in time, he is possibly that next big thing. But, you can't be devastated from losing to him. That's just another person on the ladder to aim for. I mean, I was there and I saw you with Raymond's, and that has the potential of a fantastic super match as well. I do believe over 6 rounds you would beat Raymond's, but in tournament format, I think you're always going to suffer because you generally lose, or you have been known to lose that first pin to get comfortable.
You've just opened a can of worms there for our next edition of The Fix, Paul, I'll tell you right now, because over 6 rounds beating Raymond's Antonovics.
Oof. I would love that. I would love that match. From what I felt, I know that man is.
How do you think that's going to go down with Raymond's Leipzig?
Oh, I can't. I know that he'll never for a moment have it. But honestly, I really did feel something there that I thought, if this was a super match now, I go on to win. I did. It's just my honest truth to me. It doesn't matter what actually plays out. That's what I actually felt was if this was a 6 rounder, I was going to win it.
Yeah, I believe you. I believe it. I saw that in the match. I think you might have lost. Well, you would have definitely lost the first one. The second one, you probably would have even got beaten there, but you would have put enough down on him on that round to at least made the third round a good go. And I think you probably win 4-2. I'll be honest. And I'd like to see it. But just not as much as I'd like to see me just get you, just put you into the pad and give you a little Chinese burn on that mat.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is... mate, I'm never going to cook. Get in there, Ryan. You've got a response to make, son. Get it made.
I know Tom and I are a different weight category at the moment, so it's unlikely ever to happen. But I want to know, side table, Tom, you and me in a hook. How's it play out? Who's going to win that? You and me in a hook.
What a way to finish.
Yeah, mate, it's... do you know, I'm just going to say me. I don't know where your hook is, Ryan, but I'm really confident with mine. As soon as if I get it set and right, I can't. I'm going to have to burn out before you actually open it with power. The only way it's going to open is if I burn. I don't feel like it'll actually open with like being forced in that way. I think the only way I'm actually going to open up from my hook is if I burn out.
Yep.
Other than that, I feel like
I'm genuinely at that side pull. I really am.
No, I can't wait for it. It should be good.
Tom, who wins between me and that ginger tosser? Just get it out there quick.
He's gonna say the Aussie.
What is it? 6 rounds, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 6-0 pull.
Get out of here.
High five that one, Thomas.
You just blindsided me. I thought for sure you were going with me.
Neil, get off that fucking fence and who wins? Because I know you like tickling Ginger Bowen's nuts. So, who wins, Neil? Get on the fence. Get off the fence.
Get on the fence or on the fence?
Off the fence and just say, listen, who wins? Me and Bowen over 6 rounds. Come on, I want to know.
Right, we're going to walk through this in stages, okay?
Yeah, go on.
If this match takes place at 205 pounds or below, okay, it's going to be a good match. It's going to be a really good match because Paul has to work hard to get down that low, and it does deplete his body. Paul at 100 kilos, I would give the nod. I think Paul at 100 kilos is probably a little bit too explosive, a little bit too much, but there's a big difference in Paul at 100 kilos, or over 100 kilos, and under. And if this comes down to, it's no good me looking at what Paul does now, when he's the size he is now, and he's very, very, very strong, and it's not fair comparison, it's simple as that. But in order to get to where Ryan is now, you'd have a lot of work, and you would drop power. You just would. So,
I agree.
In my opinion, if you come down to that weight, I think it's a great match because Ryan's no bum. So it's a good pull.
I mean,
it's a good pull.
I will.
Not on the fence really. There, I think if you want me to give you a score, I'll go. So at 205 pounds, should this match take place, I will go 4-2 Maiden in a screamer. And I'm talking about pulling all 6 rounds, regardless. So there's no, it's not like you get to 3, I can't lose, that's it. This is 6 rounds of arm wrestle, that's it. And if you win 4, you continue. If Paul gets to 4 pins, you don't say, oh, he's got 4. They don't arm wrestle the last 2. I actually think you come late, to be honest, Ryan. I think you're back end of the match. I think you'll start poorly as you do. I think it's difficult to start poorly with a guy who's that explosive and also technically well-rounded. I think that's an issue. I think so whereas you ordinarily drop a round, I think there's more chance you'd drop 2 rounds because it's very, very hard to get a bead on something that quick. I know if you look at the guys you've arm wrestled and lost the first round and come back, they've not been really fast. They've been guys like Chance, like Alan. Alan isn't fast. Chance isn't particularly fast. That's not their thing. Paul's quick, really quick. And that makes life difficult. If Paul tries to pose on you and doesn't put you away, if you look at Paul's wins in the World Championships against guys like Savchev, in the finals of the Worlds, it's just, Savchev's a very, very strong lad, but he couldn't get close to stopping it. It was just gone. It's over. If he gets where he wants to be, he's extremely powerful. It's very, very difficult to put the brakes on something with that much momentum. If you can stop him and you can draw him into a dogfight once, oh my God, it's on then. And to be honest, why I like that match, I actually think there's a chance over time you'd do that anyway, because he'll start getting overconfident and go into playtime if he got 2 rounds up and think, oh, I'll just pause on you a little bit, and then he'd have a problem.
That's the thing that I'll do that too. Like if I feel someone, like I did this to a degree with Chance. Chance round 1, I only engaged for half a second, and I felt I'd lost, and then I'd laid down entirely. Gave Chance nothing, and Chance thought he was all over me. So much so that in the setup of the second round, I backed off to about 80%. I totally sharked him and just pretended that that 80% of myself was actually my maximum. Ready go happened, and I showed him where my maximum was, and he lost his wrist. So, yeah, you don't get comfy.
The other thing I'll throw into this whole scenario is it's very interesting. Why I find this match interesting anyway is because there's a lot of moving parts here. As I say, Paul losing a lot of weight is one, and what that effect it has on him because he's now become comfortable at a bigger weight, and we haven't seen him cut that weight for a long period of time. I think the other thing is you're on a very, very rapid trajectory in terms of your improvement, Ryan, and you are a professional arm wrestler. You don't do anything else. Now, Paul's actually relatively close to you in that respect. Because of what he does for a living, he's in a unique position and he can train very, very hard and focus and dedicate a lot of time to it. And I think it'd do both of you good because it gives you something to genuinely work towards and train for. And I think you'll both progress massively. You're both very good arm wrestlers. And it's if either of you won that match, it wouldn't shock me. You know, I wouldn't be like, no way. I don't think it's that. This isn't that match. I don't think it's that match. I think you've a lot of similarities. And I think, not necessarily technical similarities, but you've got similarities in your approach to the sport, the background that you're able to train for the sport a lot. You're both extremely hungry. You're both extremely dedicated. I think it's a fascinating matchup. I really, really like that match.
There we go. Well, let's make it happen. Australia versus UK.
Coming to us.
I'll bring Skinny Guy and Buff Elon along with me.
Ladies and gents, we are going to tee it up. We're going to close down the episode at that point. We'll be back for more, and we'll get Ryan on to the UK chat show again very soon. If you've got any questions, guys, that you want to fire in as well, we didn't get many questions, I noticed, unless they've been sent to you guys. I didn't get many for the UK and Ireland show. So if you do want those questions, guys, please PM them over to Tom, PM them to Paul, PM them to me, and we will address them on the show. Till that time, guys, if you like what we do, please like, subscribe, share, and I hope you and your families are all safe and well. And one more time, thanks for joining us on the call, guys. Really appreciate it, and we'll speak to you all again soon. Take it easy, peeps.
Thanks, guys.